stand by. Camera is a GoPro and optimizing it here for clean HDMI. I just was ruling out the fact that we might have had an issue here with it in the mode for clean HDMI. And it does not appear to be it, so that's good. So give me 1 second here while I switch to camera mode one more time. In progress. We have to test this out here in order to be able to figure everything out. So we've got a couple of things going on. You're going to see those overlays at the top of the screen showing no battery in the SD card and everything. I'm unable to get rid of that at the moment because of the way we're testing things. I understand it's there. I know there's no battery. Guys, it's fine. I know I see the messages about it, but we're testing. The only reason I'm live today is to test. That's all we're doing is to test. We are not storm chasing. We're just testing our equipment because we have a lot of very expensive equipment. I've put about $3,500 into equipment upgrades so that we can get you a better quality live stream. So we are just making sure it all works today. I know a lot of people are asking where I'm going. This is one of those things where I'm going to be streaming a lot more, guys, so my privacy is going to be a little bit more important because I do have a couple of creeps and weirdos that like to follow me around or locate me, and it makes me extremely uncomfortable to have like people show up and then become argumentative with me, like has happened at several hotels. So I won't always necessarily be giving out information. You know, sometimes I might just say we're going here and understand that I'm going to be streaming almost every day, including some aspects of my personal life. So there's going to be a lot that may not be known. The Discord may have more information because I feel like that's more of a closed community. But I do have to keep some privacy for myself because I have had several run-ins where I've almost had to call law enforcement because I've been so uncomfortable because people have showed up and became argumentative with me, whether it's over a YouTube chat or something else. I was telling our moderators the other day, I had somebody confront me at a hotel and was telling me that this was somebody's car and that they tracked them on an app and they follow them everywhere they go, and I've been driving around to follow the owner of the car, and that, guys, that creeps me out. Like I love meeting viewers and stuff, but it really makes me uncomfortable when people are coming up and like literally waiting at my car when I come out of a hotel, and then like having negative attitudes toward me and saying that my YouTube chat isn't run very well or whatever. It kind of scares me, especially when you're in the middle of nowhere. So that's kind of the reason why, you know, I don't say, oh, we're going to go do this and this and this today. I am going to Georgia. I'm going to Atlanta, only for a day or two. There's nothing exciting happening, nothing in the weather world right now. So that we're just taking a drive down there, testing this new equipment. We've got some equipment here that should allow us to stream a better quality image. We're unable to use our overlays today because the server that's run on is stuck in startup mode and I can't reboot it. So I put a trouble ticket in. It costs too much to run it 24/7 and leave it on, so I have to turn it on and off when not using it, and I just need to start turning it on a day before I plan to use it. Because I have this problem a lot, and it's becoming a major issue where I have to contact support once a week to have them fix something, and they never actually fix it. So we are just basically streaming direct, so if we go in an area with bad signal, the stream might actually end and then come back, kind of like a normal person's stream would, because we're not using that server, that middleman with overlays. And that's partially why you see the no battery and the SD card menu there at the top. It's because I can't quite put the camera in the mode I need it to be in because of the way we're sending it. But we are streaming at 5,000 kilobits a second, 720p, which is about 5 times the quality that we normally do. But we're missing the location, we're missing all that, which really sucks because that's what I needed to test today. So if at any point during this stream that server decides to actually boot up and do what it's supposed to do, then we'll end the stream and we'll switch over to it. Now, something I'm going to mention here also, before I kind of start looking at the chat a little bit, this stream may lose the camera abruptly. I'm using I built basically the entire stream is now self-contained in a backpack. So I can actually wear this backpack around and stream from it, but I can also strap it into the passenger seat and then put the camera in the windshield. There is a potential that the mode I have the battery pack that powers it in, the mode that I have the battery pack put in right now might overheat and cause us to lose the camera. If that happens, I will restart the stream about 5 minutes after that happens. I don't think it will, but it's a possibility. I have a cooling fan built into this backpack, but I am trying to run it right now without the cooling fan activated because I need to see what our thermal limits are on this. With it being in the car and being air conditioned, I need to see if I need to run that fan or not. But anyway, yeah, guys, we're in Illinois right now. We're almost to Indiana, and I am headed right now to Georgia. Just a road trip. That's why we didn't title it as a storm chasing stream. Got a lot of new things happening, and I can't disclose them all, guys. I wish that I could. Nothing to do with guys. I'm just having a simple meeting today. I'm just going to hang out with or say hi to somebody, basically. But I do have new things coming for the channel. We may have to start a second channel for these like kind of IRL type streams. And this guy is so close on my back bumper. He's going to be in the back seat. This is ridiculous. Just so we don't screw with the algorithm. But if that happens, I will let you know. We might have to separate the non-storm chasing from the storm chasing. But with the help of this backpack, all right, hang on. We're going to brake check this guy a little bit, or at least give him some brake lights because this is ridiculous. Like this guy in front of this guy. The front of this guy's car is already smashed up, like he's rear-ended somebody once or twice already, and I don't need it to be me. But anyway, we're driving in Illinois almost to Indiana, and then we're going to go down to Georgia. I'm taking a bit of a detour. We're going to go through Champaign. I don't want to go all the way through Illinois from north to south because, guys, I can't afford the gas in this state. It's over $5.50 a gallon in this state. I just cannot afford it. So it's just cheaper to go 20 minutes out of our way and go through Indiana. But a couple of the things that we're going to be doing here, like I said, with this backpack, we're going to be streaming some stuff between storm chases. We go out, we find a state park or something, some sort of point of interest. If we want to stream it, we're going to stream it. So we don't need to be in the car to stream anymore. Why don't I have a push guard? Because they don't really function. Because, you know, if you hit a deer with a steel bumper, it's just going to bend whatever it's attached to, so it doesn't matter a whole lot. But we did get the plastic bumper cover replaced last night, which is nice. But I'm going to be live here for at least a couple of hours testing this thing out. That's subject to change, as you may come into an issue where I have to end the stream. But yeah, that's the problem, guys. If I want to put a steel bumper on this, we've got to actually fabricate it, because yeah, it's a police car, and yeah, you can put the push bumpers on them, but I used to work for a company that built police cars, and those stupid steel bumpers they put on the front of them, they're worthless. They're a joke. There's no reason to have those on there. They bolt to the on these Explorers. They just bolt to the bumper, the core support. It's just basically a piece of steel tubing. I think it might be like magnesium or something. But it's basically a piece of tubing, corrugated tubing, and they bolt to that. And if you hit something, it's just going to bend that, and they go right straight into the radiator every single time. So they're pretty much a joke. So if you want to put actually something on here that's functional, we have to fabricate it and figure out a way to actually attach it to the unibody, so it's not just putting all the weight or all the impact force on those crush points, basically, because it goes straight into the radiator every time, no matter where you hit on those brush guards. So I'm working on it. I'm going to be working with somebody to try to build a functioning one. But the ones that you can buy for like $1,000, they're just junk. Especially for these, I mean, this vehicle's a unibody, so it's got to be attached in like 20 different points to even out the load. Otherwise, it's just going to crush the front of the car, unfortunately. Which kind of sucks. But yeah, if you guys have requests of places for us to stream, put them in the Discord or something, and maybe we'll catch them and we'll go do it. Be out of Illinois here shortly, so we'll be able to stop for gas. Guys, we're live on Twitch as well, so I'm going to make a comment here. If you're watching us on Twitch, I can't see any of your chats, I can't see any of your interactions, I can't see anything, period, because without us going through the server, I can't actually capture the chat and put it together, so to speak. So I apologize. Anybody that's on Twitch, you are basically being forgotten about today. Sorry. Nothing personal, just server issues. We are well on our way here. About 20 miles or so before we get out of this state. Like I said, if we do get to a point where I can get notified that our server has started back up, because I really need to test the overlays and the chat integration and all that, we'll stop it and restart. But thanks everybody for watching. I know it's been kind of a boring stretch here. I wasn't out for that enhanced risk yesterday, because I was waiting for basically the final piece of this backpack to be shipped to me, and I didn't want to go out and then not get a chance to come back and get it. It's really important. Basically, spent a bunch of money to get this damn backpack going, and I really want to test it out, so I waited at home for it. It's got a huge battery. It's got a 50,000 milliamp hour battery, and I've got 2 of them, so we basically should have 20 hours of continuous streaming with this backpack, plus we can plug it in, obviously. But we've had a lot of support with the storm chasing streams as well over the past several days, several weeks, I should say, and it's very much appreciated. We couldn't do this without you guys, the viewers. I have been testing this setup a little bit with for members only, just so that we're not notifying everybody for tests over the past couple of weeks as well, or the past couple of days, I should say. And I can't really give you a rundown of the equipment that it is, because I have to keep some of the traits. There's that idiot that about rear-ended us. can't, I have to keep some of the trade secrets to myself a little bit. Basically, we're using an encoder with bonding. And it's not that I'm trying to be secretive, it's just that I put a lot of research into what I'm using, and I just don't really want to just put it out there for everybody to grab, you know, like competitors or whatever. But basically everything's contained in this backpack, so even if we use, you know, a rental car or something, we can take the stream with. No, I'm not using the 360 camera, we're not chasing, we're just driving. Just driving. Good excuse here to test everything out. Okay, well, I guess I see Tom's message in there. I guess the chats are connected, then, I guess. Okay. So the chats are connected, but I can't. I just can't get any of this server stuff to work, so that sucks. But anyway, guys, we're gonna get into Indiana and get some gas. It's expensive in Indiana too, but it's not like it is here. Hopefully the picture quality is good for you guys. We're streaming at a much higher bit rate. We used to stream at about 800 kilobits a second in 480p, and then it was stretched to 1080 for the overlays. But now we're streaming 720p at 30 FPS at 5,210 kilobits a second, so that's awesome. We are still going to have problems when we get into low signal areas with it dropping out. Like, we can't fix that, but at least when we're in good areas, we can get a better stream. So I think it's important that we focus on stream quality now, like we are. Yeah, we'll make a detour read. How's that? Oh, I forgot Tom's down there too. But yeah, like I said, if you guys are just joining, ignore the status bar at the top about the no battery. I cannot put the camera in clean HDMI mode without the server being running, and we are just streaming directly to YouTube for a test. So. It actually does have a battery, it's just powered externally. I'm going to check and see if our server is running. I've about had it with these people that are hosting it, because this happens all the time. I'll click the turn on button and it just gets stuck. And there's no way to force reboot it. But I think this is going to be better than what we were using. You know, I was using a combination of the phone and then the outdoor cameras. And the problem with, like, the phone and everything, you know, so I was using, basically the phone was on the Wi-Fi network, and the Wi-Fi network has the six modems bonded together, but a lot of times it wasn't bonding properly, it was just working redundantly. So with the encoder we're using now, we've got AT&T twice, and then a Verizon SIM card as well. And those three connections are working better than the 6 ever. We're at 5,000 kilobits right now. I mean, I'm happy, really happy. Yeah, just ignore the information at the top, guys. It's just because the mode I have the camera in. I don't have it in clean HDMI mode. And I cannot do that at the moment. Just ignore that. It's not that important. Yeah, we're only streaming at 720. When the server's running, we can do 1080. The feed from the car is 720, 60 FPS. And then it gets upscaled to 1080, so the graphics look nice. But when we're actually running to the server, the final product will be 1080. Pushing 1080 from the car is just a real pain. It's really tough to do that. apparently Verizon doesn't work here. That phone's got no service. But let me see, guys, if we have. Now my status for the server says inaccessible. That's nice. Why? Doesn't tell me. Cool. Well, that support ticket isn't doing anything. Yeah, I had to put a support ticket in way too often with these guys. It's not a wide angle lens. I mean, I guess wide angle lens, I guess, would be more of an opinion of what a wide angle lens is, I guess. But I wouldn't really call this very wide. Yeah, so instead of using the laptop for all the stream monitoring, I'm trying to use a second phone here. Basically just trying to stay ahead of the game here because I was noticing some issues with the method we were using before, and it just really sucked. It was causing me to pull over every 5 minutes and figure it out, and now we should just be plug and play for the most part. But we'll stop up here for something to eat, and like I said, I can take the whole stream with me out of the car. I'm not going to do that at the moment, just because we're in a testing phase, but in theory we could put the backpack on and walk around with the camera clipped to the backpack as well. But thanks everybody for joining, and also you guys that are YouTube channel members. I see several of you in there. And yeah, we're just going to drive. It's going to be the most boring live stream I've ever done. So there's absolutely nothing happening, not a single cloud in the sky. But we must do it to test. And I see that Restream is connecting the two chats together, the Twitch and the YouTube chats. That's awesome. I don't think we're going to see much for storms tomorrow, guys. There's going to be there is a slight risk for severe weather. I think into parts of like, I think it was like southeastern Pennsylvania, maybe down into Virginia. Guys, don't quote me. I looked very briefly this morning, somewhere on the East Coast, but nothing that I'm going to be chasing. I'm just heading to Georgia here for a day, just basically for a glorified meet and greet. No, we'll be taking the stream with, guys. Here's the deal. If somebody tries to mug me, then I'll just, well, it won't end very well. I'm not worried about it. But yeah, we will take the stream with pretty much everywhere. But like I said, might have to start a second channel because what's going to happen is we're going to end up mixing the audiences. And some people that want to watch storm chasing might not want to watch us drive around and look at, you know, pretty scenery or whatever, or walk around, you know, downtown Chicago for something. So we may end up, I'll see how it does, but if we have to start a second channel, it won't be a big deal. But obviously we'll announce that. But yeah, I've had several times where people have gotten very inappropriate in person because they know the stream is on, and we haven't gone to the point where we've had to shut it down too hard, but if it gets to that point, if people can't respect one another, aka getting in my face, yelling at me in person because they know the stream's on or whatever, then we'll just shut them down. I'm not gonna end the stream because we have haters. Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, everything's being live. There's a 5-second delay on this stream, so what you see is what I see. So, you know, if somebody gets in front of me and gets up in my face, you guys are happened to several of these IRL streamers, which is basically what we're transitioning toward, is an IRL experience for storm chasing instead of just a dash camera. And I'm friends with several large IRL live streamers that have, just hundreds of thousands of followers on Twitch or whatever, and I've been getting some advice from them. And a couple of them have had people get up in their face because they know they're live streaming and try to start stuff, and that's not appropriate, and that will not be tolerated, and it will be shut down pretty quickly. And I don't mean the stream, I mean the person, because I will not. If somebody wants to get about 2 inches from my face like they did to a friend of mine on a stream, it will not be tolerated, and that I'm not just going to take a step backward. It will not be tolerated. So in case any of those clowns are watching, but I tell you, it's live streaming is a bit of a danger when you're doing the whole IRL thing, because people will try to do stupid stuff. We've had that with storm chasing, where I will have people follow the live stream with storm chasing, and that's fine. But I'm waiting for the day that somebody follows me into softball size hail like we were in the other day, and then they put all over the internet that I'm the reason their car is destroyed and I owe them a new car, and that's not the case. So I'm aware of the risks, and the benefits outweigh the risks. There's bad apples in every bunch, but we're not going to let the bad apples ruin everything. But you guys, all of you folks on here have been our biggest supporters over the past year, and especially the channel members. Guys, I appreciate everything you have done. You have allowed me to go out and irresponsibly spend a bunch of money on all this equipment, so thank you. But I think that the equipment we've got now is really going to benefit us. I have tried and I've worked with, I don't want to say too much because I don't want to expose anybody else's projects, but I've worked with, another storm chaser who's got somebody helping them with streaming and giving them some ideas. And, honestly, guys, the more that I help somebody else out and try to share my streaming setup with them, the more I realize the issues I'm having with mine, and that it's just not ideal. So it just made sense to go out and buy something made commercially, because what we were using just, I don't know, when it worked, but the problem that I would have is it was such a pain to keep it working, and it had so many small issues that it was constantly pulling over to fix something. And since we've started, I haven't had to touch anything. So this is great. But yeah, thanks for the super chats, guys. I see a couple of them popped in. Those will display on screen now, once again, if the server was working. Cough, Paperspace, and Amazon Web Services. If you're watching, maybe you could fix my stuff. Hint. But we do have a couple of new YouTube moderators. In fact, I think we have 2 YouTube moderators that I have yet to give moderator status to because I keep forgetting. If those guys are in the chat, sorry. But we are on Discord, folks. We do have that Discord server. You are all welcome to join that. I'm kind of working out some bugs with that as well. I'm also working on a way to integrate the YouTube chat to the Discord server in a separate room. And it's working. I don't know. Terrible Verizon service here. Basically, the plan is to have a separate room for the YouTube chat in Discord, so that when I end the stream, if you guys are having a conversation or whatever, and you don't want to lose the log or the conversation log, you can go over to that room or whatever and look through the log of the YouTube chat or whatever. And we are slowing down for construction. Yeah, I see we have a couple of chats being relayed from Twitch. Yeah, we're going to stream to Twitch as well now, just because we're doing so much IRL stuff. And it's basically simulcast to YouTube and Twitch, and then the chat is connected. There is something in this car rattling. What is that? My hubcap cover has, I'm 99% sure has a rock in it. I got these little tiny hubcap covers, or these wheel covers, and I'm 99% sure a rock is in it, because this happened on my last Explorer. I would get rocks in there all the time, and it would sound like a wheel bearing going out or something, but it's a rock. They get behind the little hubcap center cover, and then they rattle horribly. I think it just came out. Yep. Nope, it's still in there. So when we stop for gas, I will take that off because it's going to drive me nuts. It happens too often. I wish that Ford had designed the hubcaps a little bit differently for this vehicle, because there's enough gap in there that rocks get in there. And it sounds like there's a lug nut rattling around in there, but it's rocks. And every now and then I have to dump the lug nut cover, or the wheel covers. I haven't had to do them recently, but about a month ago I had to go and dump all 4 of them out because they were all rattling. Yeah, it is just super annoying, and it makes this god-awful sound when you roll the windows down and everybody looks at you weird. Alright, so we're in Indiana now. Welcome to Indiana. It looks like we have an exit, or our exit is in 2.8 miles. I'm going to see if we can go to this rest area, which, no, maybe not. I don't think so. It's closed. I think it's, damn it, it's closed. Okay. Yeah, this is just really annoying the heck out of me. Like, I cannot stand that noise. Well, maybe it is open. I guess it's open. Should have stopped. We had a rock in the disc brakes the other day, and it fell out finally, but it was really annoying. I thought I was going to have to take the brakes apart. This vehicle is really, really bad for getting little tiny rocks in the brakes, and it just makes this god-awful noise. And usually you actually have to take the, you gotta take the caliper off and then take the rotor off, because they get lodged like in the rotor, like where the parking brake is, and then they just rattle around, and they're like, there's enough of a gap in there. Like, this car's always doing it. I've had to take, it always seems to be the back driver's side. I had to take the tire off and take the brakes apart like 3 times on it this year just to get rocks out of it. It's super annoying. Design flaw. Kind of one of those things that you never would think is a problem until it's a problem. I actually thought about taking the hubcaps off because they're the steel rims, and I thought about just taking them off, but they look kind of weird. What I would like to do is find a set of aluminum rims for like the non-government version of the Explorer, like the regular, the mom car, so to speak. I'd really like to find some aluminum rims and just put regular rims on this, because these steel rims, they also get a lot of mud caked in them. They have a lot of grooves in them, and then they're off balance, and you have to go to the car wash every time. Every time you go down a dirt road, you've got to go to the car wash afterwards and spray the dirt and the mud out of the rims, otherwise everything's off balance and it just shakes. Every time we're on a storm chase where we're on a dirt road or a gravel road that's been rained on, if we're on it for more than 10 minutes, I have to go to a car wash, otherwise the whole car shakes. This is really frustrating. So I really want to find some aluminum wheels for it. Alright, so we're coming up to the Newport exit.
Take the exit on the right.
So we're going to take 63 south. Like I said, this is only 20 minutes slower than going all the way through Illinois, but it's cheaper to just deal with the 20-minute slowdown because gas is almost $1 cheaper. This over here.
Take the exit on the right.
Take the exit on the right. Okay. Alright guys, I'm going to stop and empty the hubcap because I'm tired of it, and I'm going to empty all of them for the sake of our sanity. So we'll come down here to the stop sign and I will empty them.
In the quarter mile, turn right.
Yeah, I prefer the steel rims also, just not these ones. These ones are a pain. They're really bad in the winter because they get just full of snow and ice, and like you cannot get out of there and everything's off balance.
Turn right.
Oh no, my backpack tipped over. Nobody's using their turn signals. Alright, we're going to stop right here. I'm going to stop. Alright, I just lost carrying. I grabbed the hub cover with my hand and it's too tight to pull off this time, and I don't feel like getting a big screwdriver out, so we're just gonna drive it. We're just gonna drive it. We'll deal with it when I stop. Hang on, while we're stopped here, let me see if the server is accessible. We'll just drive it. When we get gas, we'll pry it off of there. Thanks for all you super chatters, guys. You guys are awesome for supporting the channel, and thanks everyone for watching as well. We've had a lot of growth on this channel lately, and that's appreciated. It's been difficult, but I'm glad that we're getting to the point where we are now. It allows us to do cool things like stream for no reason. vibrating or squeaking in something in the back of the car, and it's pretty annoying. Well, my server is now in restarting status, which makes no sense because I didn't even know that was a status. So maybe it'll start working soon. I would really like to test our overlays because, like the super chats and all that stuff, location, weather, all that stuff will be on stream. I totally redid everything. Nothing like you've seen before. Well, you might have seen some before, but you know, just basically put a lot of bells and whistles on it, made it look a little better and more polished. And can't even try it. The road is not smooth. Yeah, this road is terrible. This road is terrible. Okay. Here's the deal, guys. Our server is on. Is ready. Finally. I don't know what to do now though because the problem is if I start it, we're going to lose the stream. We're going to lose the stream because I will have to actually end the YouTube stream because I can't, you know, it'll actually, you know what, guys? This stream is probably going to end, and I will probably have to start a new one. So be sure, just if you don't want to miss it, subscribe to my channel, and then go to my channel and a new stream. We might start a new stream here in like 5 minutes. I'm going to try something that very well could screw everything up, but we're going to find out. We are going to find out because I really need to test our overlays and everything. So the stream may go and get lost. I don't know. We might lose it. We also might not. Also might not. So if we do lose it, it will be back in a couple of minutes under the same title. I'll basically just copy and paste everything. But it'll be a minute before anything like that were to happen. we're alive. Everything is working. Alright, everything's working for once. Maybe. Hang on, let me make sure I got our audio going. Okay, great. So again, I'm not going to restart the actual camera feed because that will mess things up. So just ignore the, 142 and then the no battery thing at the top. That normally won't be there, but yeah. So locations at the top, that will show my nearest municipality. Sometimes it's not a town. Sometimes it'll go off of like a village or a township. So that will update. You can see it's 95 degrees up there. And we got a whopping 5 people watching on Twitch. So you guys are the real heroes here because I don't push my Twitch at all. In fact, I forgot that I even had an account. So awesome. It worked. I really didn't think that would work. I thought I was going to screw everything up. Yeah, this is what it should look like. I already corrected like 3 spelling errors in the ticker. When I was typing it using a remote desktop, I think it missed a couple of my keystrokes, so we will correct those as we go. Yeah, when we're storm chasing, we will still have the radar. This is just the overlay that we're going to use when we're not chasing. But when we're not chasing, there's no reason to have the radar at all. So having the location written out at the top, I think, is a good trade-off. I'm pretty happy with how it's working. I see a couple of tweaks we have to do to the overlay. I've got a couple of things that aren't necessarily centered, and we'll fix those. I am happy with how things are going. So thank you for putting up with me, guys. We are 100% fully testing everything now. It's nice to have something work for once. Things don't usually work. They usually don't work for me, so. That's the thing about the streams we're doing. It's 2022. You would think that it would be a lot easier than it is. The hardest thing that I've found is finding a suitable camera mount. Now, the problem with the GoPro that we're using, they are terrible at low light. So when it starts getting dark out, like when we're storm chasing, we're going to have to. Well, I have to order one. I have to order a mount for my camcorder, and we'll just stream using the camcorder or the windshield, so it won't be a big deal. But this GoPro is going to get replaced. I think I'm finally done buying crap and equipment. This is a Hero 9 and it has issues. It freezes. It does not like to put out HDMI. And that's a big problem because that's how we're getting the feed. It's an issue with this camera because I've tried other Hero 9s and they work just fine. It's this camera. It's not a firmware issue either. So I need to get the Hero 10. So at some point on this trip, I'm going to probably stop and get the 10, which has a little better low light, but not much. We'll definitely experiment with it and do some side-by-sides. Shaw approved hail visor. That is probably the best way to describe it, but no, I will not put one of those on just because I don't have any. He's got a roof rack, I don't. If I had a roof rack, maybe, but I don't have a roof rack, so it would be a pain in the butt to install one. I mean, his is aluminum, it's not very heavy, but still. But no, that hail thing that he's got that he slides out, I do like that. A lot of Storm Chasers have these really dumb looking ones, like they'll just put a metal grate over their windshield. It looks terrible, but his is actually really nice looking. I think he had some guys in Dallas, Texas make it. I think he had a body shop do it or something. But it's all aluminum and it's pretty lightweight. I mean, it's a pretty nice design that he has. I think if I was to put a hail shield on this car, I think that's the way I would do it. But I probably won't because I don't have a roof rack, so it would be a pain to attach it. I do like the way his is set up. I think that's really nice. It's definitely the right way to do it. I forgot who made it, but I'm pretty sure it was somebody in Dallas. It was a body shop or somebody, I think. They did a really good job. Biggest pain when losing a windshield is not necessarily getting it replaced. It isn't actually necessarily always affording it. It's getting it replaced because every time, guys, and unfortunately I'm stuck using Safelite because, you know, that's typically the only option, but a lot of times I'll go and they will damage something or not put it back together right. Like last time, they broke my windshield wiper transmission, so I had no, we couldn't use our wipers for like 3 days. And then they won't pay me for it. They will not replace it even though they broke it or whatever. A time before that, I had them gouge the living heck out of my A-pillars on an old car. They just marred it all up, like trying to pry at something, and they didn't take ownership of it. Like, these big chain companies aren't necessarily the best places to go. But unfortunately, sometimes we don't have a choice. So that's why I really hate damaging a windshield, because I cringe every time I take the car somewhere to get the windshield fixed, because it's like, oh God, what's going to be broken today when I get the car back? Like I said, if you guys have special requests of places you want to go see live streamed when we're not storm chasing, put them like email them to me, or contact me on Twitter, or put them in the Discord or something. I'm open to requests, because here's the deal: if you guys are willing to watch the live stream, then I'm willing to go live stream it, because if we can live stream it, that means that the live stream revenue is probably paying for the gas, or at least mostly paying for the gas. So I don't have a problem. I think it'd be great. We'd go live stream vacation destinations, whatever. The Chinese tornadoes, I saw a video of one, and I knew something happened, but I don't know a whole lot about them. Yeah, I hate taking my vehicle anywhere to get repaired also, because I went to the Nebraska Land Tire and Auto in North Platte because the front end was clunking so bad. So they put new sway bar links on it. Well, they didn't tighten the sway bar links, and one of the nuts came off and the sway bar link came out. and I hit a bump and it bent the link because it bounced between the control arm, and I'm like, oh my god, guys. So I called them and I'm like, so are you gonna refund me for this? And they're like, no. I'm like, you're kidding me. So whatever. So I took it to a local mechanic in the town that I live in, and he's a really, really good guy, and he's like the only person I'll let touch my car besides myself. So he fixed it, cleaned up their mess, and only charged me $60, even though he had it for a whole day, so I was pretty happy with that. But that's why I always cringe taking it to places, especially chain places, because you just never know. Like, that's why I will change my own oil in the Walmart parking lot on a Storm Chase before I take it to a chain to have them change it, because I've had, these Valvoline places, I've had them not lubricate the oil filter O-ring, and then the oil filter is leaking like, a gallon an hour worth of oil. Like, it leaks it's just a constant drip. And then you go back and they never own up to it. They never claim fault. They always charge you, and you go to these smaller independent repair shops and they'll own it. If they screw up, they'll own up to it. A friend of mine is a mechanic. Well, he's become a friend of mine in the Rockford, Illinois area. He put a radiator in my old Explorer. It was the same year, same body, whatever is this. And he put a radiator in it, and they have these stupid quick disconnect hoses on them for the coolant hoses, and I don't think he pushed the coolant hose in far enough. I mean, honest mistake, like legitimate honest mistake. And it dumped all of its coolant about an hour away from home. And I called him, I'm like, I think, the coolant hose came off, and he flat out said, he goes, yep, that's probably my fault. And he's like, just, can you figure out how to get it to me? And I said, yeah, I'll figure it out. So I put the hose back on, and I put a bunch of coolant in it. And he paid me for the coolant, and didn't charge me, obviously, for the fix. But when I came back, he apologized. He's like, I'm sorry. He goes, yeah, it most likely was my fault, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, no, it's fine. He owned up to it. And he's like, well, I won't charge you for the oil change. And I'm like, well, that's nice of you. But it's like these independent, these smaller family-owned shops, when they screw up, they'll take ownership of it. And I'm fine with that. Everybody makes mistakes, and it makes you feel confident taking your vehicle to these places, because if they actually screw something up, they're going to take care of it. And I really don't care if somebody screws something up, and as long as they make it right, I don't care. But the problem is these, like I said, these chains, these big chains, and Firestones and Valvoline and stuff. I just feel like they don't care. That worries me, because I can't afford the downtime. This car's got to be on the road. But it really made me mad, though. They charged me almost $1,000 for the work they did on this North Platte, and they actually didn't really do anything except screw it up worse, and that upsets me. And I asked them if they would at least reimburse me partially, because I had to have someone else clean up their mistake, and they wouldn't. Take my car there again. I am really getting hungry, so hopefully there's a good spot to eat or stop up here. I see gas prices on this road, most likely because we're super close to Illinois, are sky high. They're still $5.20 a gallon. So we will probably just get enough gas to get out of this area. I've noticed that in Iowa, Illinois, Indiana, and Ohio seem to be really high right now, like that whole stretch. When I came down to Kentucky a couple of weeks ago, I noticed that also. So when we cross into Kentucky, we'll probably get gas down there and fill up. But I think we're going to get just enough to get us into Kentucky where it's a little bit cheaper. Yeah, it's all $5.20 through here, so we'll get half a tank. I think that's actually going to be the most money I've ever spent on a gallon of gas ever before in my life, honestly. And I know all the people in California are thinking, oh, you big babies, it's like $9 here, which, fine, but I don't live there, so. And I'll be honest with you guys, that's part of why I don't live out there. gas is coming down in Wisconsin. It's down around 450. But this is a flex fuel vehicle, so I could put E85 in it. We actually have an ethanol plant in my town, so I can actually go right to the ethanol plant and buy the E85 ethanol for like $2.50 right now, because it's direct from them. But I only get like 9 miles to a gallon. I'm not kidding, guys. I get 9 miles to a gallon when I run E85 in this car. 9 freaking miles a gallon when I run E85. So it is not worth it financially to pay the cheaper price. I do put E15 in it at home because I can buy E15 from the station that's at the ethanol plant as well for like $4.03, because it's only 5% more than E10, which is your regular now. But I wish I got good mileage on E85 because anytime I'm around town I can pay less than $3 for fuel, but it's just 9 miles a gallon, like that's no point. The bumper, pretty good. Wasn't as big of a deal to replace as I thought. It's ready to hit another deer. Ready to hit another deer, that's for sure. I hope not. Yeah, Georgia, I think, is the cheapest state right now for gas. I think I saw that somewhere, which is really cool. Where am I chasing today? We're not chasing. We're just going for a drive, testing out our new streaming equipment. Guys, when I hit that deer the other night, I was devastated. I honestly thought I totaled the car, and I was ticked. But I got out of the car, and I walked around to the front, and I was looking at it from the driver's side, and I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. Like, the front of the car is not damaged. Holy crap. And then I walk over to the passenger side, and the plastic bumper cover was broke, and half of it was missing, and that's fine. But the fender wasn't dented, the fender wasn't broke, nothing was broke. There was pieces of deer all down the side of the car, which is pretty gruesome and disgusting, but other than that, we got pretty lucky. I mean, yeah, the plastic bumper cover was at $800, which is ridiculous. But, you know what, guys? I'll take an $800 bumper cover over totaling the vehicle and having to make an insurance claim and having my rate go up because I have to buy a new vehicle. So I think we got really lucky on that. And there was just nothing we could do. That deer jumped out of the ditch, and there was just nothing. I mean, and I think the reason I hit him where I hit him on the side there is because I did react. I did pull it to the side, and there was nobody else on the road, so I started kind of easing toward the other side, but there was no missing that thing. We got lucky. We got really lucky. That's the first time I've ever actually hit a deer and caused any damage. I've bumped a deer before, but I hit one once and it bounced off, and I hit it at like 10 miles an hour. I don't even think it phased it. Did I keep the deer? Definitely not. I called the cops because I couldn't find the deer, and I didn't want the deer like laying in the middle of the road like half alive and miserable. So the cop and I were able to locate the deer, and there was not much of a deer left to save. I guess I'm not going to go into it because it's like a family-friendly stream, but there was not an entire deer. I don't know where the other part of it went. We were doing about 80 miles an hour. Speed limit was 70, and I had the cruise set at like 73, and I got big tires, which meant we were probably doing like 80, so yeah. was not a good day, and I actually felt really bad. So. But the darn bumper finally showed up yesterday. FedEx basically had lost it. It was supposed to show up last Tuesday, and FedEx just like, it's been saying out for delivery since last Tuesday, and I've been calling, and they're like, oh, it's out for delivery. And I'm like, it's been saying that for days. There's a problem. Like, can we figure out what the problem is? Like, can they not locate the address or what? And they're like, oh, we can't help you. It's out for delivery. And I'm like, and this was, I called every day since Tuesday, and I'm like, guys, it's been saying it's out for delivery. Clearly there's a problem. Well, yesterday I lost my cool because the lady told me to calm down and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, no, I'm tired of it. Because I was trying to explain to them nicely and professionally. I'm like, guys, I need it. You know, I have to take my vehicle out of service, and my vehicle is my business. It's my moneymaker. It's the only way I can afford rent, you know, and feed my family. And so I need this part for my vehicle, and you guys have lost it. I got hung up on. So I called back again, and I demanded a manager. You know, I pulled the whole, let me speak to the manager thing. So I got him, somebody in charge of conflict resolution or whatever. And she was the first person, this Dee Dee lady or whatever, the first person that actually cared at FedEx. She was, I'm not kidding, the first person that actually tried to help. And I was polite to all these people. Stern, but polite. And she was the first person to help. She flat out, the first thing she said is, well, there's no reason that you shouldn't have had this last Tuesday. She's like, hold on. And she called me back 20 minutes later, and she said, I just spoke to the driver's manager. It's been on the van since Tuesday, but for some reason it has not been delivered, and the driver has been instructed that he is not to leave your neighborhood until he delivers it. And he delivered it. So I was happy. So I called her back, and I thanked her because she was the only person that cared to help. And at least there was somebody there that did, because I was at a loss. I'm like, God, I need this part. Like, we paid for overnight shipping, and here we're getting a week shipping. So I was just really, really disappointed with that. So luckily, we've got the part. It's on. It's pretty easy to change out too. I know a lot of times these bumper covers on these newer cars are a pain, but this one surprisingly wasn't. It was pretty easy, pretty straightforward.
Continue on Indiana 63 South for 10 miles.
Okay, we're gonna stop at the next gas station, which is 10 miles ahead.
Continue on Indiana 63 South for 10 miles.
I don't know if it was ground or express. I'm actually not sure. Fun fact, the driver in that same truck showed up at my house like 4 times, would literally just sit in the van in the parking lot and then drive away. And it was the same van and driver that brought him back. And I made a comment about that. And apparently the terminal manager or whatever said that it was on the van and was supposed to be delivered several times. So I don't know if the guy just didn't want to get out because he couldn't read that or what, but I don't know. I'm just happy that somebody there was nice enough to care. I mean, and that made my day, that there was somebody that was willing to actually step up and do something, because nobody else, no one else there cared at all. One of them went as far to say that I needed to relax because people get packages late all the time. And I'm like, what are you talking about? It's overnight shipping. Like, it was shipped on Monday. It should have been there Tuesday, Wednesday at the latest. You know what I mean? Like, if there was an issue. Because sometimes, you know, even the overnight stuff will get missed and it's a day late. But I was just so frustrated. But luckily, we've got it. I never have these issues with UPS or USPS, though. Plus, road construction is really, really slowing us down. It's just been non-stop road construction. Like Illinois I-39 was all road construction. I think everybody's decided to do their road construction at the same time. And I understand it's road construction season, being nice weather, but it just seems like this area, just everybody decided we're going to fix the roads right now. But I won't complain because I'd rather have a fixed road than crappy roads. I don't even know what my ETA is here. 10 minutes. 10 minutes to the gas station. Yeah, thanks for joining us. And all you people that are watching us on Twitch, if you don't watch us on YouTube also, I'm going to be streaming on Twitch from here on out as well. Just a lot of this live streaming, this IRL stuff is really well suited for Twitch. So might as well open up another audience here. So we can give our new streaming equipment a good test, good run for its money today. So far I haven't had any issues with it. And no issues at all. I am going to try out the Be Right Back screen when we get to the gas station. I'm going to leave it up for a few minutes because it should show the chat on screen and everything. I'm going to let the Be Right Back play out. I just want to make sure that works too. Yeah, I've got a lot of 360 video to go up. I just haven't uploaded a lot of it. I'm a big fan of it as well. So, just gives a different perspective. Yeah, Twitch. Yeah, I see what you're talking about. With regarding a theater mode. I agree. I wish YouTube would allow you to full screen and have the chat. I agree. So we're using, I see the mention about Restream. Yeah, we're using Restream to connect the two chats. Not only for, everybody, but also for me. That way I don't have to monitor two chats. So yeah, that works out pretty well. I'm happy with that. I think for the first time in a long time, I feel like everything's actually working the way we need it to work. I still need to put a polarizer, though, on this camera, because I see you've got a heck of a windshield reflection. Guys, it is hot. I've got 99 degrees on the car thermometer. Let me check the Radar Omega Cyclone port unit for a more accurate reading. So the actual temperature measured by scientifically calibrated instruments or whatever is 95.7 degrees. 95.7 degrees right here. That's really hot. Oh well. How's the encoder doing for thermal? Pretty good. It's got a fan on it. It's inside the backpack, but I actually put a hole in the backpack and then put a 12 volt, or I'm sorry, a 5 volt fan on the backpack to work as intake and exhaust. I don't have the fan on right now because I'm trying to see what our thermal limits are on this. And it's not overheating. It's warm, but it's not hot. So even with just being in the car, it seems to be doing okay. About 6 minutes here. Hopefully we won't have construction this whole way. It's going to get old pretty quick. In the car. I mean, the air conditioner keeps up, but you can just feel the heat. Hopefully this is like an equipped gas station, you know, that maybe has like some food.
Use any lane to turn slightly. Continue for half a mile.
Makes no sense.
In a quarter mile, turn left onto 8th Avenue. Turn left onto 8th Avenue.
Okay.
In 800 feet, turn left onto North 3rd Street.
I tell you, this is taking us like the most roundabout way to this gas station.
Turn left onto North 3rd Street. In 1,000 feet, your destination will be on the right.
Well, they got a subway. Too bad I don't feel like waiting. This is oh, it's a crappy gas station. Dang it. Maybe I can find a better. No, this one might be okay.
Your destination is on the right.
This one might be okay. Where's the hood? We're gonna find out. Yeah, I don't know if I want to get out at this gas station. Let me see if we've got like an actual gas station. It's got like food. Circle K down the road. Let's go to the Circle K. I'm getting a lot of like, kind of like negative energy here from, I can't believe I just said that. Getting a lot of like, kind of dirty looks from some of these guys, and this place looks a little rough. Let's go to something else.
Head north on North 3rd Street.
I don't want to get shot
Street,
today.
then turn left onto Buckeye Street.
I don't know if this is really a good part of town or not.
Buckeye Street, then make a U-turn.
Go to the Circle K. Those usually have like something. And we'll just sit here at this intersection for 3 years. Yeah, I couldn't tell if the looks were people trying to see what the car said or if they were like looks of hatred. Guys, here's the deal. I've noticed this, and this is kind of something I have to be vigilant of too. A lot of people are not very smart.
Then turn right onto North 3rd Street.
And I don't mean you guys. I mean like, you get these people, There's people that are still convinced like I'm a cop. I had somebody come up to me in Love's yesterday, or not yesterday, a couple like last week, and he's like, "Oh, you stupid cop! I hate cops and all this." And I'm like, "I'm not a cop. Like, it says storm chaser basically on the side of like, this is not a police car." It's like only cops drive Ford Explorers, and I'm like, yeah, and so do 80-year-old grandmas. So, and they're not the freaking FBI. So, I don't know. You get the car attracts some negative individuals. It also it attracts some very positive people that just want to see it, but it also attracts some people that like think it's some sort of undercover like border patrol unit or something. Yeah, that gas station did not look like it had any like food. It looked like one of those places where you go in there and they got like a one stall bathroom and you got to have the key to open it, and they might have a bag of chips, and if they do, it's like a $7 bag of chips. It looked like one of those gas stations. Yeah, fun fact, I actually hate this car, but I drive it because it's really the only option, the only feasible option for a storm chasing vehicle for me. I actually hate Ford Explorers, although I do like my car because of how I have everything installed in it. But we were gonna get the Tahoe, but the price of gas said no, you are not gonna get a Tahoe. Even though they get about 20 miles a gallon, I can still get like 23 in this, and that 3 miles a gallon adds up really, really fast. The alternative was to get a two-wheel drive or just a rear-wheel drive Tahoe, which would be okay, but I feel like if I'm going to have that big of a vehicle, it's going to be four-wheel drive. So yeah, I personally am not a Ford Explorer fan, at least not these newer ones. But for me, it's kind of like the only, good, solid option for storm chasing and everything. And this guy is totally thinks I'm going to run him over. We'll let him go to the trash and back. Oh, you're gonna sit there? Okay. Oh, there you go. I'm trying to be nice and let this guy put his stuff in the garbage without running him over. I'm pretty sure he thought I was actually gonna run him over for a minute. Alright, I'm gonna put the Be Right Back screen up so we can test everything, but I will get gas and I will be right back in like 2 minutes or less, or maybe 3 minutes. so I gotta put this in the GPS. We got a long drive here. We still got like a 9-hour drive. I feel like I've been driving for a day.
Head south on North 3rd Street, South US Highway 41 toward Mulberry Street.
Here we go. Oops.
Continue on South US Highway 41 for 56 miles.
Hang on.
This route avoids road closures on
Didn't put
US
my
Highway
hubcap on all the way
47.
again.
Further ahead, view
I
road
thought I
west
did, but I didn't.
You will
So
arrive at
stand by.
12:04 a.m.
It's half off and dragging it. Long story. Give me 1 second. I emptied the rocks out, but I didn't push it back down all the way, so hang on. We have to reinstall it. Okay. I drive off a curb. No, I lost my hubcap. We're good. Yeah, if you don't kick these on just right, they kind of come half off. And I have a, like, I don't know how you would say it. They're not the actual Ford ones. They're like an aftermarket design.
Continue on South US Highway 41.
They have a
for
keeper,
56
a little
miles.
keeper on them, and it snaps on and slips over one of the lug nuts just as like a cap, so that if the the thing comes
Head
off,
east on Mulberry Street toward North 3rd Street, then turn right onto
it
North
will
3rd Street.
not go
Turn
flying
right
down the
onto North
road.
3rd Street, South
So it
US
just
Highway
sits there
41.
and like bangs around as you're driving because it's attached by a little keeper or a tether. And if you don't put these on just right, they come off. Like you have to put them on super even and push them on there
Turn
just right.
right
It's
onto
super
North 3rd
annoying.
Street, South US Highway 41. Continue on South US Highway 41.
But they're these
for 56
aftermarket
miles.
ones. They were supposed to solve the problem where, you know, the Ford ones would come off and then just go flying down the streets, and they developed this little like tether. But yeah, it's nice. But when they come off, they basically just fling around the tire.
Turn left onto North 1st Street.
Now it wants me to turn left. Or not turn left. We could make an illegal right turn. In fact, guys, I think we're actually probably going to make an illegal right turn. Nobody's coming, so we're gonna cross that lane. No one's coming.
In a quarter mile, turn left onto Oak Street.
Nobody saw that.
In 500 feet, make a U-turn at Eagle Street. Next on Mulberry Street
There we
toward
go.
North
Now
Water
we're going the
Street,
right way.
then turn right onto North Water Street. In a quarter mile, turn left onto Oak Street.
Yeah, thanks for the super chat. Thanks everybody for helping me test out the equipment today.
Turn left onto Oak Street.
I feel like this is taking us like the worst way that it could possibly take us.
In 800 feet, turn right onto US 150 East, South 3rd Street. Turn right onto US 150 East, South 3rd Street. Continue on US 150 East for 56 miles.
Alright, so we can just go south now, I guess. Alright. We can handle that. Oh yeah. Got a couple of roundabouts in my town. No, we don't in my town, but the next town over's got several roundabouts. Casey's right there. She just went to the Casey's. I don't think I've ever actually been through here before. I don't come this way often. could have made that. In fact, I don't actually know if I've ever been through here. Another red light. Thanks for the super chat. Yeah, I decided to come through here just to save a little money on gas because that is super expensive in Illinois. And it was only 20 minutes longer to go this way, so. Here we go. Really, no, nothing special with the equipment other than just, fans. But no, nothing too fancy. No, he ran a red light. It was yellow. Doesn't get any greener, folks. nice people. I like to slam on the brakes for no reason too. Gas is getting cheaper the farther south we go. Dollar General, we should have stopped. Smell burning wood. Somebody's having a fire. From a hot day to be doing that. Looks like GPS is going to take us down through Evansville. And then, like Nashville. Thanks for joining. We're just testing out some new equipment today, using the drive as an excuse to do that. So far, everything's working good. We will probably keep the stream up for another hour. And then then I'll probably take it down, adjust a few settings, and then bring it back up a little bit later. Oh, this is a long way. I got 96 degrees on the car thermometer right now. It is really hot. There's a bit of a breeze though, so it's not too terrible. stream. I think we're going to be back to storm chasing on Thursday. Looks like eastern Kansas, maybe. Southeast is going to be really hot over the next couple of days, it looks like. Major heat wave. take it down. I'm going to stop and I'm going to change a couple of settings, and then we're going to bring it back up later. It'll be under the same title and everything, not necessarily the same link. It'll be the same title and thumbnail and all that. But I noticed a few things that need to be adjusted, but nothing too important, which is good. Keeping an eye on eastern Kansas. I think I said western earlier, but I meant eastern. Eastern Kansas looks like it could be an area to be on Thursday. much of a threat, so we're not missing out on much. I think it's primarily just a wind threat. Tomorrow we could see some storms from areas like Columbus, Ohio, all the way to the east. Scranton's going to be in on it. Baltimore. When I looked earlier, there wasn't too much of a tornado threat, mostly wind and hail, primarily wind. But I'm really keeping an eye on Thursday as a potential storm chase day here in northern Kansas. So we'll see how that evolves. stop at McDonald's for a Sprite. Because I something, guys, I haven't had anything to drink. So I'll actually keep it up till then. So we've got about 20 minutes yet. populated town. We had quite the dead zone there, didn't we? We're out of it now, but that surprised me.
In 1,000 feet, continue straight onto North 6th Street. Continue straight onto North 6th Street. In a quarter mile, turn right onto East Minneapolis Avenue.
Almost there.
Turn right onto East Minneapolis Avenue, then turn right.
Alright, so we're gonna get something to drink. Must be busy today. People on this drive-thru are gonna get high. This guy's really old Cadillac is just burning gas, like it's dumping raw fuel out the exhaust over here. All you can smell is half-burnt fuel. See if I can do this without making it awkward. It's this guy over here. White car. Oh no, the ice cream machine's broke. This girl's like really upset that they don't have ice cream, but she's gonna get something with buffalo sauce.
Welcome to McDonald's. What can I get for you today?
Can I just get a large Sprite and an apple pie?
Would that be all for you today?
Yeah, that's it.
Alright, so it will be $2.56. Have a good night.
Okay. Okay. Thanks, you too. She like gave me my card back so forcefully. I thought she was gonna cut me with it. Thanks. Alright, I almost panicked for a minute there, guys. I thought they forgot the straw. Every time I go to McDonald's, and I'm not kidding, it's almost every time. They always forget the straw. Like, I think they see me coming and they're like, we're not going to give this guy a straw.
Turn left onto US 41 Business North 6th Street.
But no, we got it this time. I thought they forgot it, but it was in the bag. It's alright. I'm just happy to finally get it. This guy's like trying to let me go, but I didn't really want to go. But we're gonna go this way anyway because I didn't really want to hold up the line. This guy's just trying to be nice, but he's really inconveniencing us. That's okay. Alright, we're gonna eat this apple pie. And it looks like somebody sat on it. Typical of the apple pies. I hear that they sometimes they sit on them to warm them up. I don't know. It legit looks like somebody sat on this apple pie. Whatever. I've never been a fast food employee ever. But I can only imagine it really sucks when it's this hot out. Yeah, that was the fastest time I've ever been through a McDonald's in a long time. Thanks for the super chat. Yeah, the price of the apple pie went up. I think they used to be 99 cents, now they're $1.35. It's kind of a rip-off for what it is. I missed the cherry pie, that was a lot better.
In 1,000 feet, turn left onto Hart Street.
Don't ever get the strawberry pie. Like, I asked, they were out of apple pies once, and I don't know if they still have them, but there was one they had the strawberry pies. This isn't the frickin' road. Come on, Google. You piece of garbage. Anyway, they had just gotten the strawberry pies. And they're like, oh, we're out of apple pies. And I'm like, okay. And I'm like, do you got any cherry pies? And the guy like laughed over the speaker. He's like, "We haven't had cherry pies for years. Haha, we have strawberry pies now." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, strawberry pie. That sounds pretty good." No, I got it, and it was like foam. It tasted like that fluoride crap that the dentist gives you, or something like that foamy stuff. It honestly smelled like toothpaste. It looked like toothpaste, and it tasted like toothpaste. Don't recommend it unless you like toothpaste. This guy said screw it, he just ran the red light. It's like, I'm not waiting no more. Stoplight is a turn lane. Alright, we're about to get in an accident. You just watch. This intersection's messed up. The lane is narrow because they're doing something like right outside my driver's side door here, so everybody's like trying to squeeze through here. We're trying to turn, and you can turn here, surprisingly. It's just really narrow. I'm waiting for somebody to hit us. Alright, we made it.
Continue on Hart Street.
Should have just ran the red light like that last guy. There's safety in numbers. He didn't seem to mind, he just ran right through it. We probably could have got away with running the red light, even if they did have a red light camera. Of course, I'm kidding. Somebody's going to take me too seriously here. But I've yet to get my license plates for this car because the DMV is extremely slow. Like, they still blame COVID, even though they're off their COVID restrictions. But I think that they're just so backlogged, they can never catch up. So I still have a paper temporary plate. And it is so waterlogged, you can't even read it. I might as well not even be on there, so nobody'd have any idea. Yeah, the DMV is extremely slow all of a sudden. And I get like the whole COVID thing, like backlogged them. but I feel like they're slower now than they were during the whole COVID thing. So I kind of wonder if like they just got so far behind.
Onto the ramp to Evansville.
They got so far behind that like now they're just digging a hole. 'Cause they are super, super slow. Yeah, I've only been scrutinized once. I never have a front plate, guys. I've just never put a front license plate on my car.
In 800 feet, turn right onto the ramp to Evansville.
I got bothered in Illinois once for not having a front plate,
Turn right onto
and
the
I've
ramp to
never
Evansville.
ever
Merge
had a
onto
front
US
plate.
Highway 41 South.
So I usually don't have a front plate. And hang on, this guy's gonna go right out in front of us. Yep, sure is. And I don't. The reason for it is really stupid. And even when I got bothered for it, I didn't get a ticket for it. The reason I don't have a front license plate is because I've never actually owned a car that's come with a front license plate bracket. Never, never, ever. And if I put the license plate on, it will not be centered and it will bother me, or it'll be crooked and it'll bother me.
Continue on US Highway 41 South for 34 miles.
So I just leave the front license plates off. Like this car doesn't have a front license plate bracket. Well, it did, but it doesn't now because this bumper doesn't have one on it, and I'm not going to put one on it because I won't get it centered up really bad and stuff like that. So yeah, we usually don't. In Wisconsin, you're supposed to have a front and rear. I know there's a lot of states that are rear only. I think Illinois passed it. There was a legislation or something where they were going to eliminate the front plate, and I think it passed. So we'll see what happens there. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the front plate thing myself. Some cars, it looks really bad. Yeah, I've just never had one. It's kind of like my window tint. My window tint's illegal, but I have to have it, otherwise it gets so ungodly hot in here. You know, and everything overheats. I just have to have the window tint. It just gets so hot in here when you're sitting outside in the sun and it's 100 degrees just waiting for a storm or something in the middle of nowhere. I got stopped for that the other day, and it's the same cop that always writes window tint violations. It's the only cop in our county, and he's a village cop or village police officer for a very small area. All he does is write window tint tickets. It's so bad that when people go through this little village, people literally roll their windows down, even in winter. Like people with window tint, they just roll their windows down, so they're gonna get a ticket. And guys, I'm a supporter of law enforcement. You know, I used to work in public safety, so I'm not talking bad about the cops. I'm just telling a funny story because this is pretty hilarious. He walks up to the car, and the first thing out of his mouth was, "Your window, you're getting a ticket." And I said, "Okay." And I said, "Having a good day, how about you?" And like he picked up on the sarcasm. And he goes, "Well, you know, you shouldn't have all this equipment in the car. It's probably a pretty big distraction, especially that laptop." And I just gave him this look. And he goes, "Yeah, I'm probably not in a position to tell you about having a laptop in your car." And he just walks back to his car with my driver's license. I'm like, yeah, probably not. But like I said, I'm not talking bad about cops. I'm just saying I thought it was pretty funny because he instantly started telling me what a distraction all this equipment was. And it's probably less equipment than he has, and I just gave him this look, and he picked up on it. You could just see the look on his face. He was like, "Yeah, I probably shouldn't open that can of worms." But he's just not a very friendly guy. Everybody else, like the county I live in, all the cops are super nice. Like everybody knows them because there's only like 12,000 people in my county. But it's like this guy, he's one guy who just loves writing his window tint violations. I don't know why. Just got a thing for window tint. But yeah, I do like dark window tint, and I see the argument as to why there's window tint laws, because some people could be really stupid, like putting that 2.5% tint to the point where like you really can't see out of it at night. But I've got 20% all the way around, and 20% is not that dark. 20% is typically factory for like rear windows, so everything but the wind 20% on it. So it's really not that terrible dark. I think it's kind of one of those silly things. It's like, I understand they claim it's for safety, and you need to make eye contact with other drivers. I get that, but there's also other drivers that have their head buried in their phone so much that they can't see, and it's like, let's address that problem first. Because you can get prescriptions for window tint, like if you've got sensitivity to light or whatever. I wish I could go to the doctor and be like, I need a prescription for window tint so that my cameras don't overheat. That's what I need to do. I do notice it is a little tough to see out of this vehicle at night when I'm backing up. Like if you're in a parking lot, there's no other light. Sometimes I got to roll the windows down to be able to see good enough. To really see the lines if they're not painted well, but for the most part, I don't notice much looking out at night. And that was the argument this guy had. He's like, well, it's really because, at night, you can't see. And it's like, no, I can see just fine, dude. Promise. But, yeah, he asked me, he's like, well, how dark are these windows? I said, they're 20%. He goes, that's illegal. And I said, yes, it is. I said, I'm well aware of that. I said, and I told him, I said, you write me a ticket. I said, it's not your fault. I said, you don't make the laws. Go ahead and write the ticket. He goes back to his car, and he comes back with the window tint meter, and he's checking the window tint level. And he's like, yep, it's 20%. I'm like, yeah, I know. I told you it was illegal. You can write me a ticket. Well, that's what I'm going to do. And I'm like, all right, you do that. Sounds good. 10-4. All right. Meanwhile, my daughter's in the back seat, like, what the hell? So, but I don't know. The cops don't make that law. Whoever made that law, these window tint laws this doesn't make sense, because like, I think Florida's got like really, like you can't have tint under 35% or something, and 35% is nothing. Some of these states have really stupid windows. I think Wisconsin, the limit is 35% on the front two windows, and then the back windows can be 20%. I think that's what the law is. But I think that there's some states where you can have any, whatever tint you want on the back windows, but the front two are regulated. But the back windows on here, they're 20%, so they're legal in Wisconsin. So next time I go through that town, I'll just roll the front windows down. Should get a strip of tint put across the front of my windshield, like a visor. Because the sun, I'm tall enough that the sun's always in my eyes, and I don't like flipping the visors down. But I've seen people tint, their entire windshield, and that seems a little extreme, but whatever makes you happy, I guess. as I was saying, I'm going to be shutting the stream down here shortly. And then I'm going to change some settings and I'll bring it back up here once we get closer to Atlanta to test those settings. Still got like 7 hours to go. I think I'm going to go through the shutdown process. Alright, so I'm going to shut it down, guys. And like I said, I'm going to tweak some settings. I will be back later on after dinner time. Don't know exactly when, but I will be, probably once we get through the Nashville area, I'll be back live again. So, thank you, everyone. But, I do have to take it down to tweak some stuff, and I'll stop up here in Evansville and change a couple of settings. Thanks again, everybody, and I'm going to be adjusting. And like I said, if you're not subscribed on YouTube or Twitch, go ahead and follow or subscribe so you don't miss the next one. I'm going to use the same title for the videos, it'll be the same everything, and that'll probably start, probably around 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 Central, or something like that. So have a good afternoon, everybody.